Hello, welcome back to 1874. This is a right on the whistle post-match reaction show as Aston Villa win at St James's Park and beat Newcastle finally. 2-0, Emi Buendia with a worldie, Ollie Watkins with a fine header, and the Villa away day faithful have experienced two excellent results away from home, 2 games running. What a brilliant week to be a Villa fan. My daughter unbeaten in 2 games since she's been born as well, and 2 clean sheets. Does life get any better than this? I don't think it does. The first time I believe Villa have won at Newcastle since 2005 when Kieran Dyer and Lee Bowyer were scuffling. I don't think we've even gone ahead at St James's Park since 2005. So that tells you exactly what a result and what a performance that was from Aston Villa FC today. This show is sponsored by Luke Roper. Use code TVV20 to get 20% off everything Luke have to offer at checkout. And I'm your host, Dan Bardell, here for the next 20 minutes or so live before the Manchester United v Arsenal game starts, or Arsenal v Manchester United game starts, to talk through all the big moments from the game, get the reaction of those of you that are live with me right now as well. And then you'll either go and watch the Premier League match afterwards, or you'll go and watch Dan Rollinson and Neil Dunworth on Claret and Blue. Absolutely delighted with that. In my opinion, that's our most complete away day performance of the season. Did everything well, defended resolutely when we needed to, made things happen in transition, some nice intricate passing as well, killed the game at the end, getting that crucial goal so that it wasn't a nervy 8 minutes or so of stoppage time. That was a cracking away performance from Villa. So much good in the work that we've done today, and I'm sure I can see everyone else in the chat is absolutely buzzing with that away day performance, and away day 3 points. But I think that's arguably our best win of the season as well, given, how poor we are at St James's Park. We were all, some of us were reasonably pleased that we got over the Crystal Palace hex a few weeks ago with a 0-0 and didn't lose there. To have taken 4 points from Selhurst Park and St James's Park, it tells you that something is very, very different this season, and I'm allowing my mind to wander to what may happen when Villa visit Old Trafford later on in the season. Can yet another hoodoo be broken? Who have we got in the comments then? We've got Alex Drummer beating the Newcastle curse and getting 2. Blake AVFC Dean's had a few beers at this point. Says at this point we're 2 or 3 players away from a genuine title challenge. Wow. Up the Villa. Teams behind us again did stumble a little bit yesterday. I'm looking at you, Liverpool. So getting 3 points when that is happening is absolutely massive in cementing ourselves in the kind of top 3. Arsenal could very well drop points against a resurgent Manchester United in the next half an hour as well, in the next few hours as well, So a brilliant 3 points. Newcastle, as much as they've been patchy this season, they've struggled against top half teams at home. They're a very, very difficult outfit to play. They'll point towards having Bruno missing as being a massive factor, and of course it is, but you could write a long list of Villa players that were absent by the end of the game. Fingers crossed that Yuri Tillemans is okay, and that didn't look that isn't a bad one, because we can't afford to be losing any more players. Big shout out to Amadou Onana coming back in today. At one point it looked like he might go off injured as well. I thought he put in another monstrous display in the middle of the park. Dave and I spoke in a preview about how vital it is that he stays fit to the end of the season with no Boubacar Kamara. Showed exactly why. Done what he's done all season. I wasn't having him at points last season, but this season he's been so good every time he's played. So important. Please stay fit, Amadou Onana. You were arguably a man of the match today alongside Konsa. But for me, I thought Konsa was at times world class at centre-back today, just so calm, so composed with everything he does. I mean, Emery's made some interesting subs in that game as well. Good to see Leon Bailey on the pitch. The fact that he's already on ahead of Gasson, I think, speaks volumes. Him coming on down the right-hand side caused them problems at times in transition as well. Nice to have some width down that side, to have a genuine winger out there again. I think he'll be pleased with the performance that he put in. Emi Buendia, absolute top draw goal. I always have an element of doubt about Emi. If I'm going to be honest, he has games where I watch him and I think, should we have moved away from you by now? But if you look at the record that he's got this season and the kind of important match-winning goals that he's scored, important assists, you have to marvel at what he's done this season and give him your utmost respect, because Emi Buendia has scored so many goals for Villa this season, scored so many genuine peach of goals as well. And that's another one today. The compilation of goals that we have scored this season from outside the box and team goals. I think teams will struggle to have such a collection of beautiful goals as what we've put together so far this season. It's a joy to watch. XG slash unsustainable FC just keep on rolling by. And like I say, to go to Newcastle and win, it feels like a serious statement performance, especially given, a couple of players, a couple of big players are missing from the Villa lineup for that game. I thought we were good all over the pitch. So many good performances. I wanted to pick out a few people. I did a tweet at half time on Ollie. Everyone knows I'll always back him. People are probably bored of me backing him by now. In the first half, he did so many good things that you want your centre forward to do, but it was just kind of alongside that. There were so many things that you don't want your centre forward to do in terms of end product and decision making. But credit to him today because he put in a good performance all round, but he kept going and he got that goal. It's a peach of a cross from Luca D, and that substitution, that group of substitutions really helped us. I thought it was really good from Unai Emery today. Subs have been important all season, but I thought it stemmed the flow of the game. It came at a good time. It gave Newcastle something different to think about. He got Maatsen down that left-hand side, which offered a bit of solidarity that we spoke about maybe happening in the Everton game last week, having Luca Dean and Maatsen down the left-hand side together. It shows you how stretched we are, but by the end of the game. But I thought even Mings coming on was a brilliant substitution. Pau hasn't played too many 90 minutes over the last month or so with his injury. And it felt like when Voltemada came on and Newcastle are chasing a game, it felt like there was going to be a lot of box defending. The fact that Emery went back to that back five of Emi Martinez, Matty Cash, Konsa, Mings and Luca Dean to help see out the game, I thought that was a real savvy move from our manager. He's done great substitutions all season, as I say, but I thought it was clever to get them five back together at the end of the game to try and see it out. And we dealt with any kind of marginal threat that Newcastle did send our way pretty comfortably. Usually you'd be quite dismissive of substitutions and the change in your defence at a key point in the game when you're only 1-0 up. But I think it added to the organisation and added to the resoluteness of what we were doing today. So I thought that was a really important moment from Unai Emery and a really important moment in the game, getting those players on the pitch and getting that defence a bit more solidified. Because as I say, Powell probably would have been running on fumes by the end of the game. And by the end of the game, you've got a central midfield partnership of Lamargo, Bogard and Victor Lindelof as well, which wasn't on my bingo card for something I ever expected to see this season. So, credit to the players because they've seen out there. If they'd have conceded and it got back to 2-1, it suddenly becomes hostile. It suddenly becomes a really difficult place to play. Villa have used the Newcastle crowd to their advantage today. We've not given them too much to get excited by, in my opinion, because that was a pretty complete performance and the Newcastle fans will leave the ground feeling pretty frustrated with what they've seen from their team today. But I think they're a sensible bunch. I think they'll go away and know that they were beaten by the better team and give Villa a huge amount of credit for coming to their gaff and walking away with 3 points. It keeps the gap between us and them as well, a 6-pointer in that regard, because Newcastle are obviously, like us, they've got ambitions of wanting to finish in the top 5. So it's just a smashing day and a smashing result from us. I really, really thought that was our best performance of the season. Do let me know in the comments if I'm missing an obvious one. But I think for varying degrees of reasons, I really, really think that was our best performance of the season, because there were just so many different aspects to our game, so many players missing by the end as well, as I've already said a few times. Absolutely brilliant. So let me know if you agree with me in the chat, if you're with me now, with whether that's Villa's best result of the season so far. Thank you very much to DPJSC08, who's donated £5 in the super chat and says, "Hey Dan, unreal win that was. We were great from front to back. Also, congratulations on the baby up the Villa." Yeah, thank you very much for that. Thank you for the congratulations as well. Don't think I could have put it better myself, because we were brilliant to a man from front to back. And the goalkeeper's taken a bit of stick in the last few weeks. Obviously, he's made his mistakes, but he has also had days like today where he's integral to us getting 3 points. The game goes completely differently if we concede within the first 40 seconds. It probably would have been reminiscent of the game at St James's Park last season. We always seem to fall behind there and never be able to get ourselves back in the game. That's a crucial save in the first half at the start of the game. And he's made another brilliant save as well. So credit to Emi Martinez as well, because there was a lot of people, not me, saying that Marco Bizot should start this game. He should be our number one keeper. Whatever we think of Bizot, and he's been a brilliant addition, and I don't have a bad word to say about him. Emi Martinez is the number one goalkeeper at Aston Villa for very good reason. Although I did find it quite funny when he was rolling around on the floor trying to waste time, Esri Konsa's face, because he was just like, oh, not this again. I've had enough of this. But I have no problem with time wasting when you're winning a game at a place you never win, and you're trying to see it out. So this is a great day, a great result, and we can rest easy knowing that centre forward will be with us tomorrow. The bench looked a little bit stronger today. Actually, it was interesting that Harvey Elliott was on the bench today. Didn't get used. John Percy obviously released his article last night, which I thought was a little bit ambiguous. Actually, there was something in there that made it seem like if the 10-game thing had almost gone because he didn't hit 5 in the first part of the loan. So I'd like to see that clarified a bit more fully. I will be doing a pod with Tanswell tomorrow, I believe, as far as I know that's happening, getting inside the result. He's obviously been at the game today and covering it for the Athletic. There will be another show on this Newcastle win tomorrow. This is just me reacting straight off the back of the result at the final whistle, running in my kitchen and trying to beat Claret and Blue to the punch and keep kids off the internet, keep a dog quiet and keep a baby quiet now as well. What have we got here? I saw some great comments just coming through there. Michael Birch, season-defining win, and just shows how strong we are. I think many sets of fans from other teams who are watching that game as a neutral today will be so impressed with what we've done. I mean, we'll have impressed them a number of times this season with what we've done. That was fantastic today. It really was. I haven't seen too many people agree with me that it's our best win of the season, but for me, it absolutely is. Chelsea one was probably up there with the way we won that, but that to me was our best win of the season so far. Tajinder Kalati says, "Hey Dan, congrats on the baby. 2 great away wins. We must stay positive. Doesn't matter what injuries we have. This team finds wins. Anana is looking like a £50 million player. Pray he stays fit." I think he looked more. I mean, this season he's looked better than a £50 million player for me. I honestly, I had my doubts about him at the start of the season, and I didn't feel he contributed enough because of injury, and he still does worry me with the injuries that he have. But watching him play this season, he's been a monster in that midfield nearly every week when he's played, and we need him now. He comes up to now for me for being one of our most important players, Amadou Onana, without Boubacar being around for the rest of the season, and McGinn having a big injury as well. He's a physical player for us, John McGinn. We're not going to see him for a period of time. Not having 2 of them on the pitch, they're arguably our 2 most aggressive and physical players and best ball winners. I know McGinn plays further forward. There were a couple of great tackles in there from Onana today. You look at the size of the guy. That was one of my criticisms of him. I didn't think he put himself about enough. By God, he put himself around today and put himself about and got around the St James's Park pitch, and some very good midfielders on display today. But he was the best one on the pitch. He really, really was. Mark AVFC 2802 says, "Congratulations on becoming a dad this week," and has donated on the super chat as well. Thanks very much, Mark. Really, really appreciate this week. If you throw in the Villa results as well, this has been one of the best weeks of my life. Been an absolutely magical week. I've got a great picture of my daughter on the little playing mat on the floor, Villa on winning in the background today. I'm just sat with my family watching Villa win a game of football at St James's Park, beating Newcastle. What a great day. It really, really is. And really, really was. And I'm going to enjoy watching the next football match as well, in between changing nappies. What have we got here? Onana was immense, says Party Penguin. I completely agree, Party Penguin, and that is a great name in there as well. Ryan Coop says, "No pundit had us getting anything out of this game." I'd agree, up there with the best game this season, with Man City home and Chelsea away. Someone's agreed with me. Get in there. Thank you very much. Right, Ryan Coop. A lot of love for Onana in the chat, and rightly so. Jim Glover says, "Dancing around the living room in Melbourne." The second goal going in today was probably one of the most I've celebrated a goal when I've not been at the game, for a long time. Really, really enjoyed that second goal. Brilliant cross from Luca Dean, brilliant header from Ollie Watkins. And just I felt relatively safe at 1-0, I have to say, but just having that extra security blanket of to be going 2-0 up at a hard place to go was it was a big moment, wasn't it? And I don't even know how I want this next game to go now. Arsenal v Manchester United. I mean, I don't think famous last words from me. I don't think Manchester United will catch us, really. I don't see that happening, even if there's an improvement under Carrick. So go on, Manchester United. Go to the Emirates, get a result, and maybe with some of the results we've had recently, I'll start to feel like maybe we are in the title race. Oh, that's a great stat. Kitch capture says first team to stop Newcastle scoring at home. No, it's not. It's not a fact. It's a question. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know whether that's true. Someone will be able to do the research. Maybe Stato is watching. Someone will be able to do the research and let us know whether that's true. Alex Moreno, not the Alex Moreno, I don't think, says man of the match Martinez /Anana /Buendia. I did talk about Buendia, but that goal was absolutely sensational, wasn't it? It really, really was. Hannah Granger Clemson says, do you think Sancho goes a bit AWOL position-wise? Bailey holds the width, which helps the second half. I think it's probably important to say that Sancho isn't asked to hold the width when he's playing there. He's being asked to kind of play more as a central player, but when you're out of possession, trap back and help the fullback out, which I think he's done really, really well when he has played out wide there. Jadon Sancho, I thought he was quiet today. Wasn't an effective game for him. I was hoping that he'd build on Thursday night, where he's obviously scored the winner in Turkey. He didn't, but he didn't do anything wrong. I just thought he was out of all our outfielders and the way we were transitioning so well. I just didn't see too much from him in the game, but by no means a bad performance from Sancho. And he's building and getting the fitness up every week as well. Maybe that's one of the reasons we didn't see Harvey Elliott come on today, being back in the matchday squad, is that he hasn't played for months. So throwing him into a blood and guts St James's Park game is a big ask. Emery referenced that Bailey is the one that Bailey's ready. He's come back ready from Roma. He's match fit. He's raring to go. I have a soft spot for Leon, even last season when he was playing badly, just because of that one season out of 4 that he had where he was absolutely brilliant. But he could make an impact in the second half of the season. He's something different, and I really enjoyed his performance. Enjoyed him being back in the fray. He came on so early as well, and like I said at the start of the show, quite telling that he's on ahead of Gesson, who Dave Reed incorrectly called in the preview to come and have an impact today and start. Someone just said something about me looking fresh. I've lost it now. What's the secret? I don't feel fresh. Let me tell you, I was up early this morning as well to take Jen's lads to their respective football matches. So I literally walked in the house 15 minutes before the game started, and straight just a day of football for me today. So I feel like I've barely seen my baby. Credit to my wife, who is putting all the hard work in today. Isn't she with my baby? Yeah, I've been a whirlwind. The week's been a whirlwind, and the day's been a whirlwind as well. Bob Jeff here. This is a good one. Bob Jeff Statter. Joint most away points won in the league is an incredible stat, which always, I'm not sure what that last bit says, but if that's true as well, joint most away points in the league, that is an incredible stat. This makes up for last week as well, which I think is what Bob Jeff is trying to say there. The fact we lost to Everton to home was disappointing, but we've come back and we've followed that up with 2 absolutely brilliant wins. It's another 2 home games to come this week as well. The games keep coming thick and fast, don't they? Jacob Ramsey came on as well, which I thought he might start. To be honest, he'd be disappointed not to have started. He's been very, very quiet at Newcastle. Whisper it because I don't want to slag him off, but that hasn't been a good move for him so far at all. Jacob Ramsey going to Newcastle, he's contributed very little and looks like he's struggling. Kitch Captures has come in with the information. ChatGPT to the rescue, I'm sure. Yes, it's correct, Dan. First team to stop them scoring at home this season in the league. Look, I know Villa and Newcastle have had their beef, but there's been a really good kind of to and fro in the Premier League. Villa and Newcastle getting in the Champions League and getting amongst the elite. I really like Eddie Howe and the job he's done as well, which is another reason why I think that's such a big win for us today, going there and winning, because they are a really, really good team, and when they're up for it and playing well, it can be that I said to Dave in the preview, I think it's one of the hardest places, if not the hardest place to go in the Premier League. Fantastic. Going to wrap it up. I can hear a baby crying in my living room. So thank you very much to those of you that have joined me live today. I really, really appreciate it. I've got through as many of the chats, as many of the comments as I can in the chat. So thank you very much for joining me live. And if you're not watching the Premier League straight after this, don't forget to join Neil and Dan Rollinson. I've put Dan Rollinson second on his own podcast there. Don't forget to join them live over at Claret and Blue in a minute. I believe they'll be logging on. So yeah, check that out if you want to get their perspective on the game rather than me just talking to myself and talking to you guys. As I said earlier, there will be a proper show with Jacob out tomorrow, looking back on Villa's 2-0 win at St James's Park. So watch out for that. And I'm sure there'll be plenty of transfer shows and all the usual preview, etc., through the week as well. Villa, of course, about to sign a centre forward. Did that show on Friday on the thoughts on Tammy joining. Do go and share. Do go and watch that if you can, or listen to it as well. But yeah, I think Villa will be pretty active for the remainder of the transfer window. There'll be plenty of links, plenty of rumours. So I imagine there'll be plenty of transfer shows to come in the next few days. Thank you to Parachute Blues, who says, hope the Super Chat can help with the coffee fund. Those first few weeks are tough. Big win, big congratulations, big hopes for a midfielder before the end of the window and up the Villa. Yep, I'll get an update. Thank you. I know Eddie, I think that's Eddie from New York. I could be wrong. I recognise the name. Thank you very much, Eddie. I mean, yeah, I've been in the trenches last night in my house. Really was, but wouldn't change it for the world. And we'll make sure in the show with Jacob as well that we get a supreme transfer update. And David A. Stars, brilliant David A. Stars points out as well, Newcastle in the FA Cup at Villa Park is going to be tasting now. Yes, we've still got to play them again on Valentine's Day. Looking forward to that one very much so. Right then, if you've watched this via YouTube, subscribe with your post notifications on, leave us a comment, give us a like, and just do all those good things that help 1874 as a channel. Apple and Spotify, 5 stars, reviews and comments as always, please. That would be brilliant if you could do that for us. If you did want to donate, you can head to buymeacoffee.com/Dan Bardell. Did notice someone calling me out in the comments the other day that I am not very good at responding to comments. That's absolutely fair. I've got plenty of time on my hands now where a baby is asleep on my chest, so I will endeavour to reply to comments if people have any questions or any thoughts in the YouTube comments. And they were completely right to call me out, by the way. I completely agree with them, so always happy to take criticism when it's valid. Nothing else to say, really. I've really rambled on for longer in the outro than I did in the whole show, really. So take care of yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. What a brilliant win for Villa. Up the Villa from me, as always.